Let's head into our top story this afternoon. The heaviest clashes between Armenia and Azerbaijan since 2016. Armenian and Azeri forces exchanged fierce fire for the second day in a row. Several military members and civilians have been killed in the ongoing clashes. These clashes reignited concerns about stability in the South Caucasus, which is a corridor for pipelines carrying oil and gas to world markets. Azerbaijan's Defence Ministry has now released footage showing military strikes on Armenian combat vehicles and an ammunition depot in the Nagorno-Karabakh region. The clashes between the two former Soviet republics are the latest in flare-ups of a long-running conflict over Nagorno-Karabakh. Nagorno-Karabakh is a breakaway region that is inside Azerbaijan but is run by ethnic Armenians. The region said that 16 of its servicemen had been killed and more than 100 wounded after Azerbaijan launched an air and artillery attack. Armenia and Nagorno-Karabakh declared martial law and mobilized the male population. Azerbaijan also declared martial law and said that its forces responded to Armenian shelling and that 5 members of one family had been killed by Armenian shelling. The clashes prompted a flurry of diplomacy to reduce the fresh tensions. U.S. President Donald Trump said that the United States would seek to end the violence. The U.S. State Department condemned the violence in a statement, calling for an immediate halt to hostilities and any rhetoric or other actions that could worsen matters. Russia has called for an immediate ceasefire, and another regional power, Turkey, said that it would support Azerbaijan. The European Union too urged both sides to stop military actions and return to negotiations.
So we're looking at it very strongly. It just happened, and I know about it. I learned about it today and yesterday, and we're looking at it very strongly. We have a lot of good relationships in that area. We'll see if we can stop it.
For more on this news development, Julia Chapman joins us live from Moscow. A very warm welcome to you, Julia. Now, deadly clashes have erupted between Azerbaijan and Armenian separatists, the worst, in fact, in years, and have claimed at least 23 lives. Can you tell us a little bit about the root of these clashes and what it means for stability in the region?
Well, the information on the ground is sporadic, and because it's a very difficult part of the world to get to, claims and counterclaims from both sides are very difficult to verify. But we understand that yesterday morning, on Sunday, in Nagorno-Karabakh, fighting broke out between ethnic Armenians and Azerbaijani forces in the area. Each side blames the other for initiating this fighting. The Armenians say that they shot down Azerbaijani helicopters, drones, and destroyed some of their tanks. And meanwhile, they say that was a response to Azerbaijani air attacks on civilian areas in Nagorno-Karabakh. Meanwhile, the Azerbaijani side says that they were only responding to Armenian shelling against their positions. So lots of conflicting information about exactly what's been happening on the ground. But we do understand that there have been casualties. At least 16 Nagorno-Karabakh servicemen have been killed, according to officials there. And we understand that there are also injuries on both sides, although the exact numbers are very difficult to verify at this point.
Right. Tell us a little bit more about this breakaway region called Nagorno-Karabakh and its significance. And why are the two having a territorial dispute now?
This is a long-running territorial dispute dating back decades, if not centuries, and in fact it has been a very difficult situation since the fall of the Soviet Union. It was a region that was given by Stalin to the Azerbaijani SSSR, the Soviet Socialist Republic, and so it became part of Azerbaijani territory and is indeed internationally recognized as being part of Azerbaijan. Nevertheless, it is a majority ethnic Armenian area, and therefore it is run by ethnic Armenians. Now, Azerbaijanis say that's because they displaced hundreds of thousands of ethnic Azerbaijanis in over the last few decades, and so that is why there are fewer ethnic Azerbaijanis. They want to reclaim territory there, but ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, the conflict has really deepened, and they fought a war in the early 1990s as the Soviet Union was collapsing. And it kind of kicked off again earlier this year when there was an exchange of fire and some casualties in July. That seems to have sparked this latest conflict this weekend. And of course, as you say, there has been a flurry of diplomatic activity,
Right.
many phone calls with world leaders trying to de-escalate the situation in Nagorno-Karabakh.
Right, that brings me to my next question, Julia. Now, other nations have called for an immediate ceasefire, including Russia. But experts believe that this confrontation has the potential to drag in Russia and Turkey, adding to the geostrategic tensions between them over proxy conflicts in Syria and Libya. So tell us a little bit more about this. Will Russia intervene?
Russia is in a very difficult position when it comes to Nagorno-Karabakh, and officially it maintains neutrality because on the one hand it is actually a military ally of Armenia, on the other hand it actually supplies arms to Azerbaijan. So Russia has to play things very carefully here, but as part of this military alliance, the CSTO, it is obligated to back Armenia if there are any attacks on its own territory. Nevertheless, it is more neutral on the actual status of Nagorno-Karabakh itself. And of course, Turkey is also a major player in this area. It much more resolutely backs Azerbaijan. They are more ethnically closely related and has always supported Azerbaijan in this standoff, somewhat not necessarily directly, but there is some suggestion that they would back Azerbaijan if there was to be a full-blown military conflict. Russia's role is a little bit less clear, but Russia has been calling for a de-escalation to the situation. Vladimir Putin spoke on the phone yesterday to the Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan,
Right.
and there's certainly no appetite here in Moscow for things to get out of hand in Nagorno-Karabakh.
Right, Julia, thank you so much for all your insights into this story, and thank you for joining us on this broadcast.